Yo guys, what's up? Shy Guy Reviews back at it again once again for the next episode of My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 12. Alright, so starting off with today, Shinso, everybody, they're all lined up. Fight's over. Class 1A1. I think it was like 4 to 1, 3 to 1. Pretty much. Class B only won once, and it was when Mushroom Girl put a mushroom in everybody's neck and everybody couldn't breathe. Pretty dangerous. A lot of Class 1B. I kind of like Class 1B a lot more after this, I'm not gonna lie. I actually like them a lot more than Class 1A, to be honest. They have a lot more personality, it feels like. Class 1A, although they have personalities, they don't really feel like they warrant being in Class 1A. Um, there's some very close exceptions like Kirishima and Iron Dude, whose name I forget, Toki Kashi, I don't remember, to be honest. But, we start off this episode. Deku's talking to Shinso. He's like, Shinso, you really had me going there, man. You look just like Aiwazawa, man. You were crazy good. And unlike the first time when we fought, you didn't have everybody holding you up and making you look better than you thought. And Shinso's like, wait, what? You thought that? His eyes opened up wide. That's what it felt like. I mean, it kind of felt like a dig. It felt like he said that. But you know what? We're gonna gloss over that because I was like, yeah, Shinso, you know what? You're good. I don't need you to monologue anymore. I'm gonna cut you off. I love Aizawa for this reason. He does not let Shinso monologue, and you know what? It's great. Also, Vlad announces, pretty much it's probably nope, it's definitely gonna happen. Shinso's gonna be in the hero course, and everybody's like, whoa, 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 wait, really? So is he gonna be in 1A or is he gonna be in 1B? And that's the big question. I kind of hope he goes to 1A because I know he's gonna get much more screen time, but I feel like 1B is honestly just a better class. But whatever. So we're moving on. Mina is you know, she wants punishment for what happened with you know, our favorite grape ball by yeah. eh, they didn't say anything. And we all know our good old boy that copies quirks, Monoma. He's thinking about it, and he's like, if it wasn't a blank, or if I knew it was gonna be a blank, we would have made a whole new plan and we would have won. If we fought right now, there's no telling who would win. And you know what? He actually has a really good personality, despite the fact he's just a bit over the top. But honestly, it's a great way to look at it. You know what? You go, man. Deku is like, oh shit, you know, I don't want to fight those guys again. Aizawa was like, nope, we're not doing it. And I need to see you tomorrow. I need you to see the little girl. You guys remember the little girl with the horn? Pretty much. He wants him and Deku and Miro actually all to meet up the next day. But before that, we get a little clip of Bakugo and Deku fighting. And then it's later reason, and it's explained, that pretty much they all met up, and Bakugo found out where they're all going to meet, and All Might says that, he invited him. Bakugo's like, wow, you guys meet here all the time and talk about this stuff? And they're talking about Deku's new quirk, or Deku, in this episode, he says it's not a quirk, more like it comes out of his quirk, but it really is just one quirk that he has. And Bakugo's like, well, it makes sense. I mean, your quirk did come from All for One, right? I mean, initially, right? So maybe the trigger was All for One. It's because of him, and Deku and All Might have that moment of flashing where their faces are colored and it's all cool and stuff. And they're like, All Might's like, I had a feeling. I didn't say it out loud, but you said it, Bakugo. And then Bakugo decides to leave after Deku does not release his new quirk. Go figs. He was trying to help him bring it out. Didn't work. Deku starts monologuing. Bakugo's like, I have enough of this. Bye, guys. We have a little bit of a meetup again between Kirishima and Iron Boy. And, they're talking, they're talking. He's like, man, you really beat me, man. You were fighting Todoroki. You had all this. You got all this maintenance against heat. And he's like, nah, man, we're different. I'm steel, you're rock. We both are very similar, but when it comes to heat, I'm really good against heat. But the harder you get hit, the harder you hit back and the harder you become. I mean, that's cool and all. And during this same party, we actually see that you know, Mina is I don't know what she's doing to our boy. I I I don't know what she's doing to him. But it uh yeah. I it, I was gonna say he might enjoy it, but whatever. Moving on. So Deku is talking to Todoroki. Todoroki's like, man, you've been hiding this from me? You were telling me to use both my quirks, and all the time you were hiding? Wow, that's really devious. And Deku's like, no, 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 no. I didn't even know. Bakugo's like, man, that boy, he's really sharp, but he's so dull. Because, he's not realizing that, like, Deku wasn't hiding it. He's not putting the pieces together. He put the pieces together and he noticed things and he remembers little things and he put it together, but he forgot like a bunch of, other things Bakugo instantly noticed. Bakugo is actually really perceptive. And, it's also noted that Todoroki actually texted his father and was like, I want to get stronger. And the best part about this is that the father's holding his phone with one hand and the other hand's on the villain's neck, and the villain's like trying to tap out, and he's too busy looking at his phone. He's like, I didn't expect this to happen. And, we cut back to all the teachers and the principal, and they're pretty much decided that, Shinso's going to be transferring to the hero course. Great. The principal's going to do all the paperwork. Haven't seen him in a while. I just remember he went crazy on the crane. And this is where we get to one of the most important parts, I feel, right? Aizawa is actually talking to the dude with the mic. I forget his name. But he's talking to him, and he's like, "Does Shinso remind you of you?" And I'm sitting here like, man, I really feel like Shinso feels like Aizawa's protege. I mean, he's teaching him. He's getting the binding cloth from him, and then he mentions, or is it about Shirakumo? And Aizawa's like, just cut it short and say it. We don't get any more about this. All I know is that they show us the Mike's eyes, and I know that shit's real, right? I don't know who this is. Maybe there was a female. Who knows? But you know what? We're just gonna keep going. I'm honestly really interested. This is probably one of the most interesting things, if you ask me. But it's okay. So we're gonna move on, and we're into the next day. Aizawa was actually meeting up with Monoma, Deku, Miro, and the little girl, who could reverse time pretty much. And the idea is to have Monoma copy her quirk so he can show her how to use it. And he says, "Nope, sorry, it's a blank." Deku asks what a blank is, and he's like, well, a blank is when I can't copy a quirk, and I can't copy a quirk if it's stockpiling. So for instance, like Fat Gum is the example they use in the episode, where, he has to have fat. If he copies his quirk, he doesn't have any fat to use, so he can't really use any of his quirk, because there's nothing to use it with. It's a stockpiling quirk. And apparently Deku's quirk is very similar, and Deku's like, well, man, that was a lot to hinge his life on. We didn't even know if he would survive. And honestly, with somebody like Monoma, if you think about it, right? If Deku's quirk is one of these quirks that if Monoma used it, his whole body might blow up. You must realize that every time Monoma uses his quirk, there's a chance something like that can happen. I mean, some of the quirks must have a lot more power than, a normal person's body is able to handle, especially if they're not trained for it. And obviously, the little girl starts crying again, and Deku has to comfort her. That's the reason Deku's there, because Monoma and her don't really, Eri-chan, I think it's Eri, don't really have the same personality, I guess. And then we cut and we get to see all the people that failed the hero provisional exam. Our favorite guy, our favorite girl from previous that we have never seen again, Cammy. We see Todoroki, we see Bakugo, and we see some girl with a leaf on her head, whatever. And we got the Orca Man. Orca Man with his crew. That's their new test. He's like, man, after this, I'm never going to have to see your faces again. This is going to be great. And we cut to the news. The news about some support group helping support heroes, sure. And all of a sudden, in front of that building, it looks like, there's a guy that comes around riding a wave, stealing everybody's purses and stuff. And you know what? In all honesty, with how much screen time they gave this guy this episode, I'm really expecting him to come back up because he just sweeps across everything, stealing everything, and it mentions, we actually had planned all of this out, and that's great for me to hear because it feels like a lot of the villains do petty crimes, they don't think it out. Well, he planned this out. They planned out a route when there were going to be no heroes and we're going to be the most amount of people, so it could steal the most amount of stuff during this time of year. So it feels like they've been planning this for a whole year. And then they flash a hero card in front of us, and these people in a black limousine. Turns out that's Todoroki and Bakugo. They passed the exam, and they're with All Might. And they freeze it up. Baku blows it up. Everybody goes flying. We get a cool picture go with Bakugo hanging off a pole. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be a bunch of people's desktop pictures. And the main guy is like, haha, I can break out of this. I control carbonation in water. And you know what the greatest part about this guy is? He can make billions, bro. What are you doing? You could make soda water. You're like in a whole factory on your own, man. I mean, oh man, that hurts. That hurts. This guy could be used for so much good, so much soda water. You're a living business. Why are you committing crime? Oh, that hurts. But you know what? It's okay. He's actually has these gauntlets that he's using to shoot water or something. I'm not exactly sure how it's working, but after Bakugo takes out all his men as they're trying to run away, he starts fighting back, shooting water, and it starts going berserk. And, this girl's like, oh my god, there's all this snow. Because, Todoroki had frozen everything, and she walks towards it. A pole breaks. All Might jumps out to push her out the way, and Bakugo has to save both of them. And she's still holding her phone, and it's like, lady, I think you need to remember what you be doing. But you know what? It's okay because this guy's still going nuts, and Todoroki's like, all right, cool, fire and ice time. It's like a weird kind of compression between the two of them, and he sends the guy flying a lot like he did at the sports festival when he was fighting Deku with the three pillars of rock that came in between. Or fighting someone else, he just smashed through everything. That guy gets smashed into the wall, and that's it. In comes a hero that's just kind of like gliding around on the floor, and he's like, "Oh, you're the crazy boy." Bakugo's like, "I'm gonna kill you." Is that your like entire vocabulary? And we're moving on, and he's like, "Wow, you caught them all. You're all gonna be great heroes. Oh my God, we need heroes." And he's kind of making it seem like they only have a lot of lame heroes. So I don't know how I feel about this. The fact these provisional heroes are actually way stronger than the actual heroes kind of worrisome. But I guess it makes sense if all the new heroes are always stronger than the old ones because the quirks theory that Deku had a long time ago about how quirks get passed along and mixed, and they get stronger and stronger. But you know what? It's okay because All Might puts his hand on both Todoroki and Bakugo's head, and we get to see Bakugo just flare up like, "What are you doing touching me?" And Todoroki's like, "Oh my God, he's like my father." I don't know. They get home. Everything's dark. They're like, wow, I guess everybody's asleep. Nope, they're throwing a birthday party. Bakugo's still mad. At the end of the episode, they're still having a party. That's about it. I mean, that's the party. That's the end of the episode. So looking back at everything, I think the most important thing to talk about is the fact that, you know, Eraserhead and Mike were talking about this new character, and this new character seems like she's very important to Aizawa, especially because Mike says he was reminiscing. I would love to hear about Aizawa's past. I don't know if it's a love interest or what, or if he sees himself in Shinso or something, but it's gotta be. I'm so curious. I mean, Aizawa is probably one of the best, most favorite characters in the entire show. So you know what, guys? Let me know what you guys think of this episode. All in all of those episodes seem to be flying back and forth with a lot of things. It did not really feel very, how do you say? It didn't feel like it pushed the story forward. Most of the things that seem to have happened in this episode is one, Deku learning a little bit more about how everybody realizes more about his quirk and he's realizing more about it on his own. One, we learn Aizawa has some sort of secret past with somebody named Shirakumo, which might be influencing the reason that he's training Shinso. And three, all of Class 1A actually has their provisional licenses. And it looks like next week we're going to be taking a look at the Christmas episode in June. All right. So you know what, guys? Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, though, it was okay. If anything, I would probably give this episode like a 5 out of 10. That's about average. Uh, Nothing really of importance happened. Nothing too flashy happened. It's always great to see Monoma. It wasn't super boring, but you know what I mean? It could have been a lot more. So like I said, let me know if you guys disagree, what you liked, what you disliked, what you guys want to see next time in My Hero Academia. And guess what? I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Remember, dying's bad for your health. Have a great day, everyone.